Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, it appears you can. Perfect. Alright, hello everybody, President Sunday here. And I don't know about you, but I've been absolutely destroyed by the last couple of evenings of just constantly watching my computer screen. So, this is my cope stream for that, because it does appear like we are going to win so far. And we are not entirely sure who we're referring to. I'm from Canada. I would just like you guys to get COVID under control so you stop coming over here and infecting us. So anyways, without further ado, we are going to play Final Fantasy VI for however long I can stand it for. And then I'll take questions. And we'll go from there. So, ancient war of the Magi, when its flames at last receded, but when the charred husk of a world remained, even the power of magic was lost. In the 1,000 years that followed, iron, gunpowder, and steam engines took the place of magic, and life slowly returned to the barren land. Yet there now stands one in Zybon who would reawaken the magic of ages past, and use its dread power as a means by which to conquer all the world. King Dragon. Would anyone truly be foolish enough to repeat that mistake? I actually want to see if this was made at the same time as that's confirmed. It's pretty similar setting. Figure out voices for these guys. I can't do female voices. So. There's the city.
I'm to believe an Esper has been found frozen there 1,000 years after the War of the Magi.
Bah! It was just another wild goose chase.
I don't know. They wouldn't have let us use how important this information was.
Ah yes, our witch. I hear she fried 50 of our magic tech armored soldiers in 3 minutes. It makes your skin crawl, don't it? I guess this was a Boston accent.
Relax without being on her head, she's a mindless puppet. The girl won't even breathe unless we tell her. Well, approach from the east. Move out. Wait, sorry, wait.
And then, just the floating might have actually been inspired by this. It's a very similar, setting. I'd love to know what the history is of that kind of juxtaposition of fantasy and magic and technology. Because it's similar, especially in like later Final Fantasy. It really is like alt technology in a way, just without any work. I'm not entirely sure what really motivates it, because it even seems like when you talk about magic systems, it seems like you're almost just talking about a really reductionistic understanding of it's basically just low effort technology, isn't it? My voice is super low. Oh well. There. See if I turn the gain up, if that helps. How is that? Is my voice higher? Let's see what happens if we turn the volume up. How is that? Am I more audible? There we go. Okay, great. Just for confirmation, I can be heard. Awesome, okay. The girl takes point, and I don't waste... Sorry, and don't taste time on the riffraff. Remember what we're here for. Let's move. Wait, was that Wedge or Biggs? I can't remember. Alright. I'm not sure what I think of these sprites. The mech design is kind of okay. But those eyes are just... I don't like those. Imperial Magitech armor? Not even Narsh is safe anymore. Her name is Narsh. Narsh. Alright. I like the city design. Alright. Sorry, the Empire's got no business here, dog. Bioblast. Oh. That is a dead dog. Oh, I'm just getting caught on things, so it's a cutscene. Okay, I guess we don't go this way. Which I guess seems obvious, but... Oh, of course. What? 2 dogs? Alright. It's a little distracting how the enemies have these sort of realistic depictions and your characters just these chibi mini characters. Alright. What did I do? Did I just guard? Well, it's okay, it worked out in the end. I like how they actually show, like, the furnaces that power everything. It's kind of interesting. Usually they'll just have, like, the steam vents and just the mechanisms kind of assumed somewhere else. Oh, what's going on here? You know, I didn't expect this. The combat's actually in real time. Sort of. Like, your characters have, like, a charge meter. It's kind of like World of Warcraft combat, but really slow. Alright. Oh, this needs directional movement so badly. What on earth? Oh, I see. War pigs, of course. Is that what those are? There we go.
According to our source, they unearthed the frozen Esper in a new mine shaft they were digging. This must be it.
This is interesting. Right, okay. Okay, so this is just a save point. I like that artwork. There we are. And what can we do here? There we go. Alright. Can we go down here? Nope. Let's move this mouse out of the way. I'll handle this. Stand back. Oh. We're not handing over the Esper. Get them, Emir. Oh. Hold it. This thing's they must have trained it to guard the mines.
What are you talking about? You know what this is?
Ever heard of a lightning whelk? It's a monster that absorbs lightning.
And stores the energy in its shell.
Right. So whatever you do, don't attack the shell. He's jumping in his mech suit.
Got it.
Alright. So not thunder. Bioblast. That snail is a mustache. Oh, is it dead? No, it's hiding in a shell, I see. Oh yeah, we didn't want to do that. That was bad. I guess we just take this opportunity to heal. And we wait, I suppose. Grok! Die, snail. Oh wow, that healing force is way excess what we need. Bioblast. I'm assuming Bioblast is good. It sounds scary. Grok. Okay, I guess we just wait again. Oh, I see. So it does less damage. Okay. Alright, here we go.
Oh! Okay, so we've actually lost the party member already. That's not good. Huh. No Phoenix Downs, okay. It's hard to say how difficult this is. It seems like it's a step up in difficulty from the previous enemies by quite a bit. Which one's this? Is Biggs or Wedge? Let's say it's Biggs. There, okay. What do we have? Nothing. Row. Okay, what do these do? Defend. Okay, I see we can defend. That makes sense. Echo Cube says, "Hey Sunday, just sending some love. Greatly appreciate your content." Thank you, Echo Cube. I appreciate that. Okay, what is this? Okay, you guys have to bear with me here. This is actually the first ancient RPG I have played in forever. Goodness. Boy, they're really drawing out this snail battle, aren't they? Do I have anything that can... I don't. I've got nothing. Okay, just defend, I guess. Defend and... Okay. Oh, I wonder if it's actually vulnerable to lightning when it's out of its shell. And that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, is this like a Dark Souls thing? Are we supposed to lose? Are we supposed to lose here? If you're not supposed to lose here and I end up dying to the first enemy in the game... Oh. Oh. What? Is it dead or invisible? It's dead. Okay, good. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we were actually supposed to beat that and I almost lost. That is terrible. Alright. Oh no. Oh no, it continues. Okay. What can we do here? What is going on here? I guess, okay. Oh, it's KO. Okay, I guess we'll save that. Oh, I wonder if, does the save point heal you? Because I think in Tales of Vesperia it heals you, so... I'm gonna say no, it doesn't, but we'll save anyways, because I don't want to do that boss again. That was tedious. Alright. Oh? Oh, we're doing random encounters already. Okay. I see. Those are horrific. What are those? Oh, those are rats. I see. I thought that red thing was an eye for a second. Some kind of gibbous Lovecraftian thing. Alright. Well, I guess... Oh, must be an overhang. Oh, good God. What? Well, that's interesting. Okay, no more enemies. Oh, what is this? It's a burb.
So this is the frozen Esper?
Oh no. This thing's giving me the creeps. Something's not right. Girl, ... The frozen creature begins emitting an eerie light. Well, where's that light coming from? Oh. Wedge is dead.
What was that? Wedge? Wedge, where are you? Hey! What's going on?
No. Girl, ... Interesting. Well, he looks angry. Oh. Well, that's neat. Where am I?
My, and I just removed the crown. My head hurts. Easy there. This is a slave... What, a slave? This is a slave crown. The others were using it to control you. It was robbing you of your thoughts, making it so you do whatever they told you.
I can't remember a thing.
Don't worry, it'll all come back to you. In time, that is. ...
A mysterious young woman born with the gift of magic and enslaved by the Gestalian Empire. We'll go with this. My name is Terra.
Impressive, I've never heard of anyone recovering so fast. You must be made of tougher stuff than most.
Doggos.
Open up, we're here for the Magitech armor pilot. Open this door right now and hand over that girl. She's an agent of the Empire.
Empire Magitech armor?
There's no time to explain.
Wait, that's the old man.
There's no time to explain. You need to get out of here. These fools aren't going to listen to reason. This way, quickly.
It's my old man voice. It's not great. Alright. So is this the inside of a house? Or is this a castle? Because I'm feeling castle here. Elixir, nice.
Open this door right now.
Okay. Same thing. I don't like these sprites. That just looks... like, the environments are good. They've got sort of a realism to them. These sprites look like fan art. Like something you use in Game Maker. Alright. I do like these smoke effects, though. There's something about them being, like, using so few frames and being so choppy that makes it work.
Up there!
Alright. Into a mine shaft, I suppose. Oh, there is 8-directional movement. Okay. Oh, right before a save point. Unbelievable. Spritzer. Sounds like a soft drink. Alright. No, Biggs and Wedge. Oh my god. I'm using an Xbox controller, it was being weird for a moment. Yeah, it's real time, so it just needs to... I see, okay. That's interesting. My first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy X, so I kind of assume it's turn-based, but it's not. Phoenix Down. I do have the emulated version. The reason why I'm playing this one is because apparently they've corrected the translation, so Phoenix Down was like F-E-N-I-X. I'm not sure if that was the right move. I think I kind of liked the sprites in the original. Sleeping bag. A wild cancer appears. Interesting. Oh, I see. It's a hint. Okay. So if I escape nurse through the mine, Kupo, it's a cat or something. A were-rat. That's what they are. Earned 42 XP. All right, we're gonna move a bit faster because it's kind of dragging.
There she is.
Bad trip. Alright. So what happens if you go to sleep without using the washroom first?
Ah, my little magic user. With this slave crown, you'll be all mine.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Laughing silently. Oh my god.
Good, good. Burn them all to a crisp.
Soldiers of Hogwarts, we stand at the dawn of a new age. The lost power of magic has returned to us. We are the chosen ones. The time has come for us to claim our rightful dominion over the world. Nothing shall stand in our way. Hurrah! Long live Emperor Gestal.
That's inappropriate. Alright.
Took you long enough, busy with all the robbing and plundering, I presume.
A treasure hunter and trail-worn traveler searching the world over for relics of the past. Whatever. Okay, what's this? I prefer the term treasure. No, it's not good. Shoot, right. I prefer the term treasure hunting.
Ah, semantic nonsense.
There's a huge... I can't remember his voice. Damn it. It's like that face in that hat. It's just... like, what is that? There's a huge difference. Anyway, is there something you need me to do?
There is indeed. I met the girl.
You don't mean?
The city guard is pursuing her as we speak. This city has the strength to stand up to the Empire, but it won't use it. The people are just too stubbornly independent to join an underground resistance group like the Returners. I tried to explain that the Empire was controlling the girl, but they wouldn't even listen.
We need a voice for this person. You know what, you're Lysander. Alright, so you want me to get her out of Nosh?
That would be the idea. Make your way to Figaro for the time being.
Oh my god.
Now we've got her.
What? Are those dogs in suits?
Wonderful. There's a whole bunch of them.
Kupo. What? What? Oh, I see.
Kapow! Moogles, are you saying you want to help? Kupo. Use us to protect Terra from the guards.
Would you like an explanation? No. I'll probably regret that, but anyways. Wait. Okay. What does this do? I don't know. Alright. Oop. Oh, is this stealth? What? That's not fair. Okay, what do... Oh, wait. Am I supposed to do something? Oh, I see, okay. I've got a party of... dignity-robbing cat people. Silver Lobo. I really wish RPGs just didn't have combat. Just let's interrupt this story to bring you, Sock and Bop and Robots 1,000 times over. Goodman4 asks, what cat? Those are cats, aren't they? The Moogles? Am I mistaken? They look like cats to me. No, we've lost a cat. No, they're all dead. The party's fallen. What does this mean? No, I failed her. Oh, did we lose? Oh my god, we lost. No. Oh, okay, so we're still... Oh no, we have to do that again? I don't want to do that again. Okay. We'll do this fast. Okay. Well, we know what we're doing this time. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna finish the town. And then I don't know. What on earth? It's just a mechanic. Wait, so we're just killing the miners. Why are we killing them? These people are just working here. Oh my god. Okay, you first. Oh boy. Just 4 more years of Trump, just not another minute in this cave. Okay. Stratopocles asks, why does it feel like the game is holding your hand? Because it kind of is. This is a weird combination of, like, almost too easy, but just with too much. There she is. Okay, we're doing this again. Okay, let's just zoom past this. Alright. Oh boy. Oh no, do we have to... Oh no. Okay. Maybe we can zoom past these cutscenes faster. Oh no, we're stuck doing the cutscene. See, because you're not supposed to lose at the beginning like this, so... I literally died during the tutorial. It's amazing. This is why I'm a political theory channel, not a game channel. Exactly. So Locke is on a quest for life, liberty, and the pursuit of other people's property. Nothing changes. Exactly. I think this was actually what inspired Escaflowne. It came out 2 years before. And the aesthetic of the different factions is really similar, especially that building, that building that it shows when it has like Gestalt and the Empire. Okay, we need a better name for this guy. Oh, I guess we're just locked. Okay, press the wrong button. That's fine. I miss skip cutscene videos, or skip cutscene options, buttons. Figure of the time being. Wow, okay. There's a lot of cutscene, with no save in between. So there's a passage behind us. Do we go there, or do we have to... Like, what are we doing exactly? Okay, so... Okay, maybe we should actually look at the tutorial this time and see what they say. Explanation, yes. We'll fight using 3 Oh, I see, okay. Right shift, left shift, switchman parties. Be the leader of the guards for his men reach terror or the battle's lost. I see, okay. Oh, great. Ugh. Alright, you go there. You go there. No, stay. And you go there. Alright. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to do it. Because it's supposed to be easy. You're not supposed to fight them with one party over and over again. Alright. Okay, 2 down. Okay, if we die here, if this actually, like, ends the round, I'm calling it. Because we're not sitting through that cutscene again. Oh. Okay, we're gonna make it. But I think I need to switch this party out, and I'm not entirely sure if it's enough to just... Okay, so if I switch it... Oh no, okay. I guess we're committed. Oh no. Oh, I see. So they just need to not get the terror. Got it. Okay, so if the Mughals die, that's fine. Party has fallen. Okay. That's okay, though. We got another party. Okay, I see. Oh god, I almost had a heart attack. Alright. Okay, we're back in business. Mastered a new dance. That's interesting. There's a... Did that party respawn behind us? Alright. Okay. There's gonna be a boss here, isn't there? Okay, it looks like that's the last one. Alright. Oh, so these are all live. Can we... out of the way. Okay, so what? Guard captain. Uh-oh. Okay. There we go. Good job, cats. You murdered the guys. Thanks, Moogles. We're in your debt. Okay. This switch oughta... What? Switch detonated the mountain. You back with us now? You saved me. Save your thanks for the Moogles. I can't remember a thing. It's like my mind's trapped in a fog. You lost your memory. A man said it would come back eventually. So you've got amnesia. Don't worry, I won't leave your side until your memory returns. I'm not gonna up and abandon someone just because they lost their memory. I'm gonna up and abandon someone because they have green hair. I'll keep you safe, I promise. Oh god, those blinks. Just put her in your inventory. Alright. Okay, here we go.
This is a school for the beginning adventurer. Despite all of our recent advances in technology, the outside world remains full of monsters we know little about.
That is kind of strange, because your technology kind of requires, I don't know.
Here we provide advice to travelers brave enough to face as many dangers.
Oh no, don't make me go in there. I'm not going in there. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So it's like, it's a combination of, like, it seems like something almost pre-feudal, where, like, the world is sort of uncharted. Like, the local world is uncharted, but at the same time, like, look at what's powering their city. Like, you'd need massive networks of industry to accommodate this. Like, this isn't really something you can kind of do locally. Now, they're showing, like, mountains made of something that looks like coal here. It seems to be the same texture, so maybe in this city that makes sense, but, like, that other city that we saw, the giant, whatever you want to call it, that yellow building. Oh.
Is that... Hey!
Alright, I guess we leave. Nope, we hide. It's not safe here. We'd better hightail it to Figaro. Alright. What is this? Oh, it's just an effect. Okay, let's get out of here. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize the overworld was 3D. Let's kill that bunny rabbit. It's funny, I think this is actually the only Final Fantasy that had a Mode 7 overworld. Despite this, like, being the iconic SNES look. Was Final Fantasy V on the SNES? Leaf Bunny. Yeah, combat in RPGs is just kind of silly. Like, imagine if it's just Frodo and Sam wandering through the wilderness, just murdering animals left and right. Endlessly. Just a trail of bodies in their wake. Like, what does this actually add to the experience, really? Like, I love the world design. I love the music. Music's really good. Reminds me of Ocarina of Time, actually. But oh, is that actually... What? Was that a polygonal city? Was that in the original, or did they add that for the Steam release? They must have redone the overworld for the Steam release. I've never heard of that for the SNES. I know that Star Fox had polygonal graphics, but they were untextured, right? Like, this wasn't a thing that the SNES could do. Oh, okay, we have to actually pay attention to our health. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, we gained a level. And Terra has... Okay, Terra has Cure. Right, okay. Let's save. Oh, good, we can save in the overworld. Brilliant. Alright. Yeah, that has to have been new. There's no way. Okay. Figaro Castle. Oh wait, get back in there. Chocobos.
Halt! You violated the law. Oh, it's you. Proceed.
Interesting. Okay, so... I'm technologically illiterate. What is the significance of there being propellers at the tops of these towers? Or is there one, or is it just like... So I'm just kind of interested in what's being assumed here in terms of how these things are functioning. So a lot of propellers. Like, what is that for? Is that for anything? Does that make logical sense? Alright. A lot of doors, a lot of hallways not being used for... Oh my god. Alright.
You mean this young woman is...
What? I didn't say anything. Who are you?
Oh, my apologies. How rude of me to turn my back on a lady on our very first meeting.
Oh my god.
The young king of Figaro Castle, imperial ally and champion of the technological revolution. Edgar.
Oh my god.
I am Edgar, the king of Figaro.
Surprised that someone like me knows a king. Well, I'll catch you two later.
So you're an imperial soldier, right? Don't worry, Figaro and the Empire are allies. Feel free to rest here for as long as you'd like. It's not in my blood to harm a lady.
Why are you being so kind to me? Is it because of my hair?
I'll give you 3 reasons. First of all, your beauty has captivated me. Second, I'm dying to know if I'm your type. I guess your abilities would be rank a distant third. What's the matter? Guess my technique's getting a bit rusty. What a pickle.
I suppose a normal girl would have felt something from those words.
But not me.
I'm edgy and special and my hair is green. Okay. Can we touch anything? Nope. Alright. Oh, that's cool. You can go behind the curtain. I like little touches like that. Okay. I think we'll explore this castle a bit and then we'll call it for today. I've got a very low energy threshold for Final Fantasy. And we'll go to Q&A afterwards. Oh my god. The last 2 nights? It's been 2 nights, right? Just endlessly watching election updates. It's just been... Oh, yes. Yes, I found my place. Okay.
The ancients once wielded a force known as magic. Those who mastered the art were called Magi.
Okay. What? What was that? Oh, I thought that was a cutscene.
Scholars all over the world are studying magic, but you can only learn so much about something without seeing it.
Okay, so... Okay, so before we cut this off, I kind of want to, like... I want to figure out what kind of setting we're looking at here. Like, what time period is this emulating? Oh, we just left the city. Okay, so... we have walled cities with no hinterland settlements by the looks of it. Granted, this is in the desert, so that kind of makes sense, I guess. Does it make sense?
Halt!
Oh, it's you. Okay. We're doing this every single time we come in here. Alright, so... These doors. Those look metal. So... Yeah, this is kind of just a pastiche, isn't it? Like, we have, like, sort of the medieval castle design. You have the... Those are battlements, but they're guarding a propeller. So, or a fan or something. So what is... Like, what is the point to this? I'm guessing that's sand and not chicken feed all over the ground, although it looks like chicken feed all over the ground. More fans. There's just fans there. Okay, so, see all these fans. Let's go downstairs and let's see what's there, or do we just end up back outside? Does this go anywhere good? Right, so... Yeah, we're just gonna leave the castle, aren't we? This is a staircase? Nope. So I guess we can't actually see the underworks. Boy, it's a good thing they have a guard at the front gate to make sure that people only use the unguarded side entrances. There we go. Alright, well... Wait, what? Alien human says maybe the... Oh, I see. Maybe the castle turns into a jet later. Okay. I was excited for a second. If the castle turned into a jet, that would have been amazing. But... Alright. Let's make some progress here and then we'll call it. So, you said just to rest a bit. I don't know what that means. Let's see if we can find any other stairs. So, actually, we have rested a bit. Feel free to wander about the castle. Okay, also feel free to wander about the castle. Does this go anywhere? Nope. Do we have a hint? Talk to... Oh, we wish to talk to people. Okay.
Now that Gestalt has the power of Magitech at his command, he's set his sights on world domination. I heard the Gestalian Empire got its hands on something called magic.
Oh, there we go. You wouldn't know by looking at it, but this... There we go, this is what I'm looking for. But this castle is loaded with advanced technology. For example... Okay. It's all top secret. Okay, screw that. It's fans. It's top secret fan technology. So many fans. Figaro Castle is the most advanced structure in the world. We have fans. Figaro has an alliance with the Empire. Okay. It's the most advanced structure in the world. They're riding chickens, and they have fans in their towers. Okay. Oh, here we go. Side stairs. Aha! There! Now we're in the underworks. No, we're in the prison. Never mind. Alright.
Ugh, something smells terrible in here. Oh, I think it's me.
Oh, can I talk to this one? No, he's walking away. Come back closer. Ah, damn it, pirate. Okay.
These good-for-nothing brigands have been locked up for thievery. And worse, you'd best keep a safe distance.
Okay. Oh,
I'm Lone Wolf, the pickpocket.
okay. I guess that was that. Let me out of here. Okay, so I'm guessing the left stair goes to a different place.
Ah, Professor. The Figaro Castle engine room is down those stairs. The engines are currently undergoing maintenance, so we can be ready to move at a moment's notice if the need arises.
Oh! I think it does turn into a jet. And that's okay, so I'm gonna have to come back at some point and press. Oh, wait! Oh, damn. Okay, so that makes sense. So this is a vehicle. We're. Okay. Okay, so that's weird. So you're actually correct. This castle is a ship. Yeah, so this is 100% what Escaflowne was based off of. I guarantee it. No, oh, these are stairs. Okay. Yay! Dun 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 dun. Phoenix down. Gonna trigger a cutscene here? Nope. We're just gonna go downstairs. I guess the question though is, what is the point of having a moving castle in the first place? The whole point to a castle is to, like, hold on to a locale, right? So if the castle is able to run away, you're obviously going to always flee to save the castle, so the castle's practically useless in practice. Like, this is just an aircraft carrier with no aircraft. So do we leave? Halt! I'm trying to leave. Okay. Alright. Oh, okay, I guess we're in combat now. Okay. Can we run? No, we can't. We have to fight everything. Okay. That's really frustrating. There has to be, like, a flee option. Let's use magic. Although I feel like fire on a desert creature is probably... Well, it seems to work. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Alien Human says you can have less castles, you can cover more area with one castle. Yeah, that's true if you have a mobile castle, but the problem again is that you will stop treating it as a castle, right? So it's like your queen in chess. The queen is a really useful piece. You can move it all the way across the board. It's really valuable. The problem is that because your queen is valuable, if anything attacks it, you have to treat it almost like you're treating your king. You have to, like, take it out of danger if it's being attacked almost all the time. So you can actually become kind of a slave to your queen in a game of chess if you use it as too mobile a piece, right? So, like, similarly with this thing, that castle would be extremely expensive. So, yeah, if, right? Like, this was the logic with arguing against the new super carriers they were developing. Oh my god, every single time. Because all they end up being is just a giant target that you constantly have to protect. Okay. Oh, I wonder if we have to talk to the woman in the inn area. Yeah, I think that's it. No, let's chat with these people. Our king showers his attention on women, young, old, pretty, or plain. No one is safe. Is that bad? I don't know. Not too long ago, the king tried to hit on the high priestess. Oh, did she ever let him have it? I'm I'm sure he's made a pass or two at you already, hasn't he? Dot, dot, dot. Alright. I'm getting tired of this castle. Who do I talk to? Chocobo. This is Figaro, the Desert Castle, okay. Hang on. Wait, so what's this then? If the castle takes off, what is this? Okay, so it must extend underground too. But then how's it going to take off? Using propellers? It's covered in dirt. Okay. Like, you wouldn't be able to lift this weight. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, I see, so the castle extends. I wasn't in the whole... Okay, got it. High Priestess.
Edgar has a twin brother, you know. He was such a nice boy, always thinking of his family.
I don't know why I'm assuming this person's old. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, I don't want Edgar's backstory. Youth.
Edgar, what's wrong with Daddy? Why is everyone talking about a successor?
Are you blind? Have you seen how thin his face has become?
Whatever do you mean? Edgar!
Ugh.
Are you crying?
Edgar's twin brother who traded the throne for his own freedom.
Oh, I can't change his... Okay. Can I not change his name?
Ah, yes, Sabine. I'm sure he's a fine young man now. He was just a boy when he left, even smaller than his brother. I often wonder where he is now and what he's doing.
Oh. Okay, small green-haired person.
His Highness said he'd marry me when I got old enough.
Okay, that's not good. Mother of God. Alright.
The Gestalian Empire has already overthrown all 3 of the other nations on the southern continent. It's only a matter of time before they make their way up here.
Okay, so... Can we imbibe? No, we can't. Alright, let's get out of here. Noah Watson asks, spoilers for the man who was Thursday but wasn't President Sunday God? What is the implication of naming yourself after him? Actually, it's not clear what President Sunday is. He's not necessarily God either. You have to read carefully. It's ambiguous. Okay, and there's another... So we go into this wing. Alright. The advanced weapons and other items we manufacture here are shipped to South Figaro. Okay, I think I'm gonna save. It's now been a little over an hour, and we'll just go straight to a Q&A. And then maybe we'll pick this up in future. But I think for now we're going to stop it here. This is... God only knows how long this will go on for. Actually, how far in the desert can I go? Okay, I see. Yeah, that is not an aerodynamic vehicle. But yeah, let's save and we'll come back in the future, I think. But I'm starting to lose my voice. I have since yesterday. I'm hoping I'm not sick, but... Yeah. So... There, you can look at my lovely face. Alright, so we'll do Q&A for a little bit, and then we'll call it a day. I'm just going to scroll up through the comments, see if there are any questions. Joseph Mines says, President Sunday, a moving castle would allow for a large army with resources to move over great distance. I feel like at the point where you have the technology to have like a moving castle, like supplying a ground army is superfluous, right? Like, think of the level of technology you're dealing with here to be able to move something of that size. Like, why wouldn't you rely solely on an air force, and then just kind of occupy on the ground? But you wouldn't need, like, that doesn't make much sense to me. Furthermore, you still need to supply the castle, right? Like, what is fueling this thing? We saw in the first city it seemed to be coal. It could have been some other rock that looks like coal that had, like, I don't know, more that was just more efficient. But yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's a cool image, like technologically flying castles, but I don't know. It seems expensive and unnecessary. And Gloff asks, P.S. What is the origin of the name President Sunday? President Sunday is a character in a book by G.K. Chesterton called The Man Who Was Thursday, which I highly recommend. The significance of the name has no significance. I like that book and I like that character. Oh yeah, okay, so Commander Fogg suggests that the fans could be air conditioning, which I guess is plausible. Except the thing is, they specifically say that the castle can fly. If your castle can fly, why would you design the entire thing around air conditioning for a desert environment? You just avoid a desert environment. In fact, it kind of begs the question, why are they there in the first place? It seems to be completely arid. Like, what's the point in holding that? That is territory you would maybe want to situate your fortress on the border of, sort of like it was like you're treating the desert as like an ocean almost. But like, what would be the point? Like, who's going to want to take that over, right? Like, it's in a desert. What's the gain for conquering a desert fortress? You're stuck in the desert. We're not talking like yeah, so yeah, that just doesn't make sense. Noah Watson asks, what music do you listen to? I listen to a lot of music. Usually, though, I listen to stuff that helps me study and read. So, weirdly, I've been listening to a lot of Final Fantasy music recently because it puts you into, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say exactly. Like, I try, one of my strategies for getting a lot done is to try to constantly enchant the stuff that I'm reading by associating it with more interesting things, or at least stuff that shows that it's more interesting. So I've actually been listening to the soundtrack to this for a little while recently, which is why I was kind of interested in doing this. Another really relaxing one is Balam Garden from Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII is very flawed, but the environments are just like, you want to be there. But I've got a pretty varied, I listen to a lot of stuff. Yoko Kanno, I think her name is. She's the one who does the soundtrack for Escaflowne, and she does some other things. Her music is really good. There's another Japanese composer, what's his name, that I discovered on YouTube. Here, let me check my playlist, actually. I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name. Takashi Yoshimatsu, I think it is. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think he has one track called Mimo Flora that's really good. Another one I think is called While an Angel Dozes. I just find them really relaxing. Ralph Vaughan Williams, I think is how you pronounce it. I like his stuff. It reminds me of Oblivion, actually. The Elder Scrolls game. That music, I'm pretty sure they took a lot from it. Takashi Yoshimatsu's music is sort of like, I'm fairly certain Breath of the Wild's piano music came from that, or was inspired by him. Alexander Scriabin is pretty good. I like his I don't know how much synesthesia is like a pseudoscientific thing or whatnot, because I haven't looked into it, but it appears as if I have that. So I got interested in him because apparently he made a bit called Mysterium, or yeah, it was called Mysterium, I think, and that was meant to trigger sort of synesthesia, so you'd have like color associations with the music and whatnot. So yeah, so a lot of stuff. There's no one kind of music that I listen to, except country. I hate country music. Hate it. Reminds me of car sickness and waiting for parents to finish shopping. All right. Oh yes, right. Thank you, Seven Hake. So, how we usually do this is, if you have a question, you put an asterisk at the beginning of it, so I can see that it's a question when I'm scrolling through the chat. So, thank you, Seven, for reminding me to say that. Joseph Mines, last I checked, Biden 253, Trump 214. Let's actually look at that. God, this has been dragging out forever, hasn't it? I'm just bored by the whole thing at this point. I don't even hate Trump. I think he was an ordinary bloke who wasn't right for the job. And under normal conditions, I mean, there were a lot of problems, but with COVID, it was an unmitigated disaster. He needed to make a decision, either completely defer federal response to COVID to experts and shut up, or do nothing and shut up. What he ended up doing instead was on top of doing nothing for the longest time, and it's still hardly sufficient. In fact, what are they even doing right now? U.S. federal COVID response. I looked this up before and I just lost it. As of October. No, it's the FDA. It's not the federal government. Yeah, so he needed to not sow confusion and distrust in expert opinion on COVID, and not even speculate about potential treatments and things like that in public while it was going on, because he is the president. A lot of people take his word as an expert, kind of bafflingly, because like there is no specialist training for becoming the president while you're running, right? This is just a guy. Yeah, anyways, the election. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so CBS updated. New results show razor-thin race for the White House. Oh no. I just want to see the Electoral College. Because I think the consensus right now is the Democrats have categorically lost the Senate. Yeah, 253 to 214. So, hang on. No, they haven't. It looks like... Oh my god. Stop making me sign into the New York Times. I'm not going to pay you money for your awful... Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Am I reading this right? So it looks like they're tying for the Senate. And it looks like the Democrats are actually winning the House, no? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it looks like a categoric Biden win at this point, and I'm not... Trump hasn't gone up since yesterday, has he? Like, at all. So it's going to be Biden. I'm calling it. I'm not even counting it. Like, I'm not even thinking about the election anymore as like a thing whose outcome is uncertain. I'm just relieved at this point. Not even because I particularly had a horse in the race for Biden. I'm in Canada, of course. I'm just thinking of from a basic self-interest standpoint. The U.S.'s lack of a COVID response directly endangers people around me. So, yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get some more questions. Noah Watson, in what way was Trump significantly worse than other Western leaders who were to COVID besides his messaging? Extremely slow to respond to it. I think it was kind of funny that Trudeau was able to close the border faster than Trump was. I mean, it was it was the one time in human history, really, when Trump could get away with actually stringently restricting border crossings. Like the one time, and nothing. Yeah. Barry Gormley asks, do you think there's a way to reform the system so that the candidates are of higher quality? How do you even define the qualities of someone who should be in the race? It depends on what you mean by reforming the system. If you mean from within the democratic process, I'm inclined to say no. And if so, not for a very, very long time. As for the qualities of someone who should be in the race, well, it depends on what they're in the race for. There's a balance here. You can have a really intelligent and wise person in the presidency who cannot win an election. So, should that person be in the race? Well, I mean, in a sense, it's an evolutionary dead end. Sure, they may be fantastic if they get the presidency, but they'll never get the presidency. Because at the end of the day, we aren't just talking about who should be in charge. We're talking about who should be in the race. And if you can't win a race, you shouldn't be in the race. Barry Gormley, the best thing about a fantasy world is you can MacGuffin your way out of any plot hole. Obviously, the castle is powered by some material that doesn't exist in our world. Yeah, but that's boring, though. And I think that's actually why I don't like fantasy that much, because it's kind of an insult to human ingenuity, isn't it? It's actually really interesting. Now, granted, I live in Canada, specifically Vancouver Island, and most of Vancouver Island looks like a gas station in the woods, and the woods part is kind of nice, but the rest of it looks like trash. So I mean, there are reasons to want to escape sort of this frontier technology type thing, but that's aggrandizing too much. It's I don't know, I always kind of feel like we're living in between the boot prints of somebody. But what Harry Potter, for example, their magic wands are literally just guns and cooking implements built in together. They do nothing that we can't already do, and they're often way less efficient at it. I also find the idea of Mrs. Weasley conjuring sauce in a pot in one book. She had her wand stirring, and just a sauce would appear in the saucepan while she's stirring it. It's what is that? Where is that coming from? That's kind of horrifying. You're ingesting that? Do you even know what that is? I don't know. But yeah, I just find it it insults your intelligence, and it's just kind of silly. I kind of like the setting of Final Fantasy VI and Escaflowne a little bit. because while they do have magic, quote unquote, it's not a surrogate for technology. It seems to compete with technology in a way, but it seems to be something more akin to like energy or some hidden principle of reality, rather than like magic systems are just the most tedious thing to me. I have almost no respect for fantasy as a genre just because of that. Like, you look at reviews of like, I watched this channel called Daniel Green. I think it's called Daniel Green, and he just does reviews of fantasy novels, and it's kind of fascinating. But like, you look at what do they talk about? World building and magic systems. They're all recreating the same world. They're just shifting the geography and renaming the characters. Like, it's boring. Like, there's no chance for there to be any kind of significance to it, because it's literally just people accomplishing goals by zapping things without explanation. It's lame. I don't like fantasy. Yeah. And yeah, Harry Potter is pleb tier literature. I mean, I enjoyed it growing up, but I agree. I'm just using that as like an obvious example. Like, I tried reading The Name of the Wind. I couldn't do it. The Wheel of Time is kind of okay. I'm actually reading The Eye of the World right now, and it's like, I don't know. Like, it's a mixed bag. So the storytelling is good. I'll say that. When it actually gets to being a novel and not being this sort of pseudo-archaic annal, it's good. The problem is that when you actually read like old literature, it doesn't read like that. Especially given that this is supposed to be like more of a Renaissance setting than medieval. So I don't get why authors choose to use like this high speak in the general narration of the story, and then switch into like a modern novel mode for dealing with dialogue. Like, it's that takes me out of it, and I don't like it that much. I also like there to be some kind of like value in what I'm reading. Like, I'm not getting anything out of this. Like, it's mildly enjoyable. I kind of like the settings, but you're basically just reading descriptions of places that don't exist, that are sort of pastiche hodgepodges of actual places with actual history. It's like that. It's like the technology in Final Fantasy VI. It's completely displaced from contexts in which that makes sense. You have these isolated cities with apparently no trade routes, unmapped, uncharted, unsafe paths between major locations. Like, you don't. I mean, maybe this is just a function of the technology of the time when it was made, but you don't see like any signs of their material being exported, things like that. Like, where did all this technology come from? How did they happen upon this as something viable to do? Like that giant that city with all the coal at the beginning, that was largely made of metal. Where did they get that from? Was it just from the mountain? Did a bunch of nomads just arrive at that mountain and decide to start mining one day? Like, what is this? It doesn't appear to be a part of an empire or anything. It's just a weird little isolated city that, for whatever reason, has just carved everything out of the mountain. But why? Like, at some point you choose to do that, right? Yeah. Brock Peters asks, what do you think of low fantasy or high fantasy where wizardry and such are exclusive rare? I'm just not a fan of fantasy generally. I like Lord of the Rings, but I almost don't regard that as fantasy. Lord of the Rings is almost, it's more akin to something like The Once and Future King, where it has elements of what we regard as fantastical, but the actual structure of the thing, it has like an open-endedness with respect to the world, such that you can relate it to the real world. So it has more in common with the Iliad or with L'Amour d'Arthur than it does with something like Game of Thrones. I like low fantasy more because you actually have it tends to emphasize, I don't know, there's something like humanly relevant about what happens, you can make a story that's meaningful there. I find that with fantasy, it's all kind of the same, and maybe that's unfair, but I mean, these people just don't stop writing. Like, these books are freaking huge, and I just find it all kind of dull. Like, they're all fixated on like a specific type of setting, specific levels of technology. Regardless, like, fantasy is almost entirely defined by a kind of technological primitiveness. And I don't get much meaning in the fact that, like, what is the obsession? Like with swords, for example, why does all fantasy involve swords? It's a piece of metal used to cut people up. Why is that the most interesting feature for fantasy authors, that they have to always write about an environment in which those things are used? Like, what is the logic here? You know? It's swords and horses and people with sticks who can make stuff explode. Like, it's boring. Maybe not. That actually sounds kind of cool, but still. And I'm being, like, mean about it and everything, but actually, I will say this. The Eye of the World is actually pretty fun to read right now. Especially the beginning. It's very cozy. It seems to actually talk a lot about, like, the economic relations between the different things. I know that sounds boring, but it's actually, it makes it real. There's nothing more annoying to me, and this wasn't always the case, but you study political science and sociology for almost a decade, and you're like, okay, I'm noticing these big gaps in how this world is constructed, and it's bothering me. Yeah, I like low fantasy more, but at the same time, I find grimdark tiring. Like, I haven't read Game of Thrones, mostly because I lost interest in it because of the TV show, and I'm hoping the books are different, because I actually do have the first one. I would like to try reading it. But it was, like, Game of Thrones is ridiculous. It's brutal to the point of being unrealistic. Like, no society would hold together like that. You would either have extraordinary cruelty with an extreme degree of order and discipline, or you would have sort of chaos. And it makes no sense to me that someone like Joffrey could actually hold on to power for any length of time. Like, it was absurd. It was just silly. Noah Watson asks, did you ever read any of Terry Pratchett's books? I have read many of Terry Pratchett's books. He was one of my favorite authors. I don't even really count him as fantasy. He's a satirist. He just uses fantasy as almost like the fantasy setting in itself is part of the joke. He's not parodying fantasy per se. He used to do that, but then his later ones were parodying or satirizing actual things in the world, just in his Ankh-Morpork city. His city watch books are my favorite. I also really like the books about the Grim Reaper. I was going to say the books about death, but that just sounds kind of gothic. No, the Grim Reaper in Discworld, in Terry Pratchett's Discworld books, is this melancholy sort of... He's like Data with a hood and a deep voice. It's like, I can't... What was he saying? I remember everything as if it was only tomorrow. So you just get to watch the Grim Reaper be depressed and have, like, slice of life moments, and it's great. But yeah, Terry Pratchett's great. I think my favorite one was Feet of Clay. Brock Peters asks, are there any Final Fantasy games or other RPGs that handle these aspects well, that aren't based on Planet Earth, I mean? You know what? I think as far as games that are inoffensive in this respect, I think it's the best you can really hope for, honestly. Final Fantasy X is kind of okay. but I think the best one, honestly. But I mean, that's only because it makes Final Fantasy X makes all of the technology sort of like the artifacts of a bygone era, so you can sort of fill in the blanks as to how these things came to exist in the first place. I think Summoner for PC, the first one, is basically a JRPG made by a Western company. It's very good. It's made by the same company that did Red Faction, the original ones, and it's actually very solid. The writing's really good. The voice acting is surprisingly decent, and the environments are really. I should have played that one. That's a really good one. But yeah, it's good. It's hard though, but it's got a really interesting environment. It has massive cities. Like, you really get the sense that you're in like a lived-in. Despite how primitive the graphics are, it looks like very grounded. Yeah. Yeah. Sean Croft asks, that said, and maybe this is more my own snobbery, but is there any reason behind a strong correlation behind the NRX ideas and their adoration of fantasy literature? I don't know if they universally adore fantasy literature. I mean, I know Argon does, but I actually kind of like Argon's work, despite everything. I think he appeared on Keith Wood's stream the other day with Richard Spencer. That was kind of unfortunate. But, yeah, I'm not sure that's true. I think they have like I think they adopt a similar pastiche view of that's my new word after Matt McManus used it. Pastiche view of the Western tradition, if you will, or of Catholicism or what have you, or of the West generally. As what you see in fantasy novels, it's not clear to me that they are universally into fantasy. I mean, there's like a strong undercurrent of consumer culture with respect to that kind of thing in NRX circles, but I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right, and they are, but I haven't noticed it. I think it's more a family resemblance in terms of how they construct their view of the past than anything else. I'm gonna have to get some water in a second. My mouth's getting dry. Sean Croft asks again, do you think Sargon's adoration of Starship Troopers is revealing, or by going beyond the film is there a point to seeing it as not really being fashy? I haven't read Starship Troopers. I have seen the film. I don't think Starship Troopers is in itself fascistic per se. I think we do need to be careful though. Just because something isn't fascistic doesn't mean it's good. It's a weird combination from what I can remember of like a primitive kind of direct democracy and modern industrial warfare. But like of the almost 20th century industrial warfare. So it's tricky. It definitely has a lot in common. I'd have to look back at it again. I'm not sure as to whether it's revealing. I mean, the inherent cruelty in Starship Troopers setting, which is really, I think, what the filmmakers managed to emphasize. Like, there's this one moment where there's this. One of the insect creatures is sort of wounded on the ground. You see its eyes looking scared, and the guy approaches it, and like there's going to be like this moment of sympathy or something, and he just shoots it, and they're all cheering afterwards. Like that's kind of morally insane to valorize. And I remember Sargon in his stream with Destiny. They were talking about how like how economic disadvantage can result in people who are very talented but poor simply not having opportunities that people who are less talented but rich end up having. And his reaction to that was, well, life's not fair, isn't it? And I mean, well, that's true. It's like, okay, well, you can't just stop there, right? Or you shouldn't just stop there. You should try to do your best to make things better and more fair. That's not even a socialist statement. That's just like, I mean, if you're ostensibly pro a meritocracy and you want equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome, and really, if your outcome is determined by class, then you do really only have equality of outcome, just kind of stratified along class boundaries or race boundaries or what have you. It doesn't make any sense, but he just doesn't care. I mean, the general theme of Sargon is a very shallow and inconsistent adherence to liberal values combined with complete indifference to the suffering of the poor and anyone else. So, yeah. I'm going to go get some water, and I'll be right back. So just hang tight, keep asking questions. We'll go for probably another 30 minutes, and then I'll call it a day. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Let's see what I missed here. Barry Gormley asks, do you think Sargon has basically become the mirror image of what his channel was set up to oppose? Someone who cares more about maintaining a narrative than objective facts? I don't think Sargon really has much of an internal life anymore, to be honest. I think initially he was just a bloke who was upset with people abusing social causes to bully people, and I think he had a point in some cases, but these days, I mean, if you look at his Twitter feed, it's just endless. Like he's posting just 10 times an hour. It's kind of insane. Like the man doesn't read or think or discuss, he just kind of like rapid fires the same old things over and over and over again. And it's just like, I think what's happened is he's happened upon sort of an equilibrium where he's if he keeps up this constant low burn, he gets paid. And that's all he cares about now. I think he's burnt out and he's done and he just wants the money from it. And he's, at this point, if he has a pulse, it's entirely just powered by his seething hatred of people on the left generally. So, like, it's hard to even regard him as like a person anymore. Like, there's no dynamism in his thinking or in how he engages with people. He's like a zombie. It's just kind of sad. It's really bizarre. Like the switch that I made was largely based on things like that. It was these people who I used to have some common cause with. I realized they weren't really powered by concern for those cause. They were motivated just by spite, and so they never grew. They just did the same. It's the same act over and over again, endlessly. So I don't know if he's become the mirror image of what his channel was set up to oppose. I mean, maybe if the image the thing he was opposing was like SJW grifters or something, sure. But he's definitely degenerated. Into what exactly, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know the interiority of his mind, but I don't think it's a nice place right now. Barry Gormley says, I don't think the movie or the book is, this is referring to Starship Troopers, is fashy, just putting it out there. It wasn't the author's intent, and the director only added fascist aesthetics. Yeah, that was generally my impression of it, too. Like, it was bad enough. You didn't really need to add those things. Like, there were reasons why it was terrible. I think making it look like the Empire from Star Wars, like a parody of it, a cheap parody of that, I think that was unnecessary. I think it kind of took away from it. Heaven B says a lot of tech bro type people like Starship Troopers just because it's sci-fi. Yeah, fair. Noah Watson says Catholic NRX is based off a combination of the book The Abolition of Man, I believe that's by C.S. Lewis, and Yarvin's view of ultra-Calvinism. I'm not familiar with ultra-Calvinism. Luke Barabadze, sorry, I'm so tired right now, asks, what happened during the elections, who won? Nobody yet. Nobody won yet, but it's looking like Biden has an overwhelming majority with the Electoral College votes. It looks like they're tying for the Senate, unless something's changed in the last few minutes, and it looks like the Dems are taking the House, unless I'm misreading that. My knowledge of American governance is not fantastic, but, yeah. Heaven B says, Sargon argued in favor of ethno-states, though, so Starship Troopers is not how you know his politics. Did he argue in favor of ethno-states? I must have missed that. I wouldn't be surprised at this point, but... Stradipocles says, Sargon uses the pull yourself up by your bootstrap speech in response to inequality. Yeah, that's right. Goodman4 asks, did you ever talk to him? Who are you talking about? Do you mean Sargon? No. I mean, I've engaged with him on Twitter, but I haven't talked to him personally. I highly doubt I ever will. Heaven B, shoe drama is what keeps him alive. Yeah, he seems weirdly obsessive with tweeting at Shoe on Head for some reason. I don't know why. Like, it's a weird optic. I mean, I joke about it. I don't think he actually is, like, into Shoe. I think she's just kind of, she's gone off the reservation. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm just looking at Twitter right now. He's going off about how the Vietnam War was totally defensible for some reason. I don't understand this. Sean Croft asks, what is your take with the electoral issues around Michigan and Arizona and any others in the current election? I'm just tired. Let me refresh. What's going on in Arizona? I should know this because I was watching this all last night and I just lost it when I woke up this morning. Democrats win big in Arizona, no former GOP stronghold. Where the protests are in Arizona, aren't they? Yeah. Arizona vote. Yeah, okay. I mean, I think it's just kind of sad. Like, I grew up in a conservative household, and I'm looking at these people who are there chanting, and, like, you really have to understand what it's like if you come from that kind of background. You spend your entire childhood sort of cushioned by parents who are just pushing you through school, and your only engagement with politics is with these hyper-emotional, fear-mongering pundits on things like Fox News and whatnot, and they bring you to tears. Especially if you're religious, you grow up in constant fear of like the end of days and the mark of the beast and things like that. And you see it all around because there's like a slow crawl of kind of a general liberalization and an increase of rights and stigma against stigmatizing people of like a non-heterosexual, for example. I lost the word description. But and so when you see stuff like this happening, it's like these people are just kind of sad. They aren't necessarily stupid. They've just been conditioned to be triggered by certain things and to have such a low regard for or indeed to treat as threatening to such a significant extent the positions of people opposite them politically. They can't actually hear what they're saying. And yeah, like when I look at like those glassy-eyed, really normal-looking bumpkins, bluntly, who are like protesting at the Arizona counting office and things like that, I just kind of feel sad. Like, they aren't malicious, they're just dumb. And not even dumb in an essential sense, they've been sort of brought up to be dumb. It's yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Alien Human says Yarvin's article is called the Ultra Calvinist Hypothesis. Okay, I just don't have time. I don't have energy for Yarvin. I'm just, yeah. Wow, my energy levels just dropped. I haven't slept properly in like 2 nights. I've just been watching nonstop this stuff, and I'm dying. Luke Barabadze, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Luke. I'll just say Luke from now on. Luke asks, are you going to do a vid about Sargon? I am, actually. In particular, I'm starting to put together notes for either a long video or a short video series on Sargon's fake liberalism, because he's not a liberal. And in fact, classical liberals today, I would argue, aren't really liberals, because there's a particular context in which classical liberalism has the specific moral qualities that it did when it emerged that don't make sense anymore. But furthermore, he betrays liberal principles constantly. He's not a liberal. I wouldn't necessarily say he's a fascist per se, but he's not a liberal. I mean, at this point, he's a grifter, so it's not really appropriate to call him anything. But a classical liberal, he is absolutely not. So yeah, I'll be doing that at some point. I'm going to be doing that after the last nationalism video, which I'm working on right now. So that one should be out reasonably soon, definitely within the month. But, yeah. And Heaven B says at this point he's not relevant, to be honest. You're right. Like, Sargon's on his way out. Vosh was getting more views on his election stream than Sargon was. I think even Sargon fans are bored of Sargon. Like, imagine how sad you would have to be to, like, watch Sargon religiously at this point. He hasn't evolved in 5 years. Like, it's just boring. It's so boring. Like, there's no depth or anything. Like, Vosh, within the span of 1 year, went from being, like, a weird creep yelling on the internet at people, yelling, you're a fascist, to being, like, a really measured, really well-educated and well-read and prepared debater. Like, his Tim Pool performance was one of the best things I've ever seen. It was fantastic. He elevated Tim Pool in that debate. It was great. What's Sargon become? Sargon's degenerated. He used to be able to have, like, casual, real conversations, and now all he can do is just kind of... I know I'm not particularly eloquent on this today. I'm bloody exhausted, but he's just become so dull. Like, even responding to his videos, there's so much just white noise of the same old crap over and over and over again. It's painful watching him to cut out the parts that you need to respond to. The only person who, I mean, I don't know if he or PhilosophyTube is harder to get through. At least PhilosophyTube is engaging with interesting stuff, even if he does so in a very uninteresting way. Yeah. What's with the background noise, Sunday? Is there background noise? Oh, I see what happened. I turned my gain up because apparently my voice was really quiet during the Final Fantasy bit at the beginning. There was some audio shenanigans. I realized after the fact that I had to increase the volume on OBS. I'm still learning the ropes of this stuff, so bear with me, guys. I hope the audio wasn't intolerable for the last little bit. I'm turning the gain down, though. My new mic actually has a gain dial on it, which is awesome. So, what's making that sound is probably my computer. Is that gone now? Let me know if the background noise is gone. Okay, good. Yeah, so my gain was too far up. I hope that wasn't too annoying, guys. Sorry. Noah Watson says, the abolition of man says that anything but divinely inspired moral values from tradition equals nihilism / the pursuit of personal pleasure, and ultra-Calvinism is the view that progressivism equals ... progressivism equals a continuation of the Protestant Reformation as an abandonment of that divine inspiration. I think that's silly. Nothing but divinely inspired moral values from tradition. I mean, people who don't believe in the divine aren't necessarily nihilists. Nihilism is a very particular thing. You can say that something philosophically would lead to nihilism if you're consistent, but that's not the same thing. And it's not clear to me that that is actually necessarily true, that not believing in divinely inspired moral values from tradition is equivalent to nihilism. If anything, I've been actually kind of disturbed by just how nihilistic reactionary Catholics tend to be. They've reduced the entire world to a set of really flat categories, and it's just everything is just a game in terms of making bubble over here win against bubble over here. It's really shallow, and it is in fact nihilistic. Barry Gormley says, Sean mentioned Molyneux. He's always a fun nut to talk about, so I just thought I'd open the floor. Have you listened to any of his stuff? I've listened to more Molyneux than I need or want to have ever listened to. Molyneux's a creep with a lovely voice, and that's largely why he's succeeded, because I want to do that video on ASMR and rhetoric at some point, because I think there's something to that. Molyneux's voice is genuinely pleasant to listen to, despite the vacuousness of what he says. The same went for Christopher Hitchens. The same went for, I have, ASMR playlists that you can't see because they're privated, but I'll have things like past life regressionists and whatnot, and random stuff like that, just because their delivery is very relaxing, and it has, that ASMR quality to it. And as a result, I've internalized a lot of the stuff that they say. I don't believe it, but I know what their opinions on a lot of things are, or I know how they think about certain things, or they frame or talk about certain things. And I can't say the same, for example, about someone who actually has a level of content like Hakeem, because I just haven't watched a lot of his videos in depth. Hakeem's an interesting guy. I think he's a medical worker in Afghanistan. A bit of a theory purist when it comes to his Marxism, but he's interesting. He's worth looking into. But I mean, just again for that reason, it's. I mean, Molyneux. I don't even think necessarily that Molyneux's a nut. Molyneux is a guy who had too much charisma. He had more charisma than character, and his own success was the primary. He was kind of led by the tail, right? His what succeeded in his YouTube channel ended up dictating who he was as a person. So, I think it's the same thing with Sargon. I think he was just sort of zombified by his own success after a little while. I'm going to turn the heat down here. It's boiling. Oh my god. But, yeah. Sean Croft asks, what is sleep? I never heard of it. Sleep is apparently a thing that healthy people do. I don't partake very much. Barry Gormley says cultural Marxism, quote unquote, is international Jewry for people who are worried about optics. I'm actually kind of iffy on that one, you know? Like, yes, for a lot of people, that absolutely is the case. But at the same time, it's not like a big leap to be afraid of, to have like an internalized fear of Marxism as like this homogenizing, zombifying ideology. That's not my position, but that's like how you view it when you grow up in these groups that are terrified of New World Order conspiracy theories and things like that. And it's not necessarily connected to Jews at all. In fact, there's often an element of these. I mean, especially when you're in like you're in communities that valorize the state of Israel as the only democracy in the Middle East, quote unquote. You associate cultural Marxism, in fact, with anti-Semitism. That being said, people who do believe in an international Jewish conspiracy will often, first of all, associate Marxism with that, and then will use cultural Marxism as a code for that, or as a way of bringing people who aren't anti-Semites on board with other aspects of their position or of their rhetoric, right? So, like a Richard Spencer type absolutely means Jews when they refer to cultural Marxism. If they do, I'm not actually sure Richard Spencer does refer to cultural Marxism, but by contrast, I don't think Sargon necessarily, at least historically, has viewed cultural Marxism in terms of international Jewry, quote unquote. I don't think Jordan Peterson thinks of cultural Marxism as a Jewish conspiracy, but there's definitely like it's ambiguous enough. It can kind of shift depending on who you're talking about. Like cultural Marxism, like you can spontaneously coin that as a phrase. What is it? Well, it's the idea that you have, I mean, like, think about it this way. You have a bunch of people who aren't overt Marxists, but you, with your simplistic understanding of what Marx said or what have you, largely the result of propaganda, have made the inference that these people are infected with Marxist ideas motivating their rhetoric and their actions. So you say, well, they aren't Marxists, but they are quote-unquote cultural Marxists. Like, that's a thing you can do that doesn't necessarily invoke a Jewish conspiracy theory, right? Or not a Jewish, I'm sorry, a theory of a Jewish conspiracy, or a conspiracy theory, you know what I mean? So. Luke Barabadze says he, I'm assuming referring to Sargon, did denounce the alt-right on their anti-Semitism. Yes, but then he started promoting them. So, like, when you actually look at the connections between these people, they're pretty tight. Because Sargon and the academic age and that whole crowd, they are very much on board with promoting people in sort of the NRX and the Tradcath community, and even in white nationalist circles. So, for example, people like Endeavor, who's also a Catholic, I believe, so I maybe shouldn't distinguish those two that sharply. who in turn are really intent on engaging with the Keith Woods, Richard Spencer, like that whole community. So I mean, like, Sargon has, at this point, Sargon recognizes correctly that his success is largely due to being the lowest common denominator between all these different groups. So while he himself may not necessarily subscribe to a white nationalist narrative, at least not overtly, I mean, I imagine if you heard his chats in private, I mean, to be revealing, of course, but I don't know. Recent years have shed new light on his interactions, for example, with Kraut and T. I don't... Like, I was listening last night to the Medicare coverage of the Tales of Trout one, where it was talking about Kraut's interactions with Sargon vis-a-vis the doxing of Coach Red Pill. And Sargon had a strong moral objection to this. Of course, he then also made a video after the fact on it. This is recorded in audio, and I don't know to what extent that is because Sargon was actually offended at the idea of, because he wasn't. It seemed like Kraut was saying that he wasn't actually doxing the person, even though Kraut was engaging in some really untoward behavior. Kraut was telling Sargon privately to be wary of this. That being said, we did also see like a bunch of stuff come out saying that he was hoping to, I don't know, it was just a mess. What Kraut did was really dumb. But long story short, where I was going with this, it makes me wonder whether or not Sargon was actually concerned with the ethics of the thing itself, or with losing that base, you know? I don't know. I really shouldn't just run my mouth on this. I don't actually know the details of any of this, and I don't actually know what Sargon's position is on this, but it's really suspect to me recently, because if you look at his account on Twitter, it's called Robin Hood now. He's kind of nuts. Like he just says things. He just sort of in zombie-like fashion just tweets out a right-wing position on everything without any thought at all. I don't know. Alright, I'm going to answer a few more questions and we're going to wrap it up because I'm deadly tired. Sean Croft asks, why is Adorno such a central focus for all the detractors of the Frankfurt School online? Occasionally it will be Marcuse they focus on, but it's really disproportionate. I don't know. I have to confess I haven't read Adorno, so I wouldn't be able to say. I'm reading Marcuse's Reason and Revolution as a companion to Hegel's Phenomenology of Spirit and his Philosophy of History right now, so it seems pretty solid so far. But I'm actually not super up on the Frankfurt School, so I'll have to come back to that at some point in the future. Vosh is so big now because of how little he takes to make videos. I think Vosh is big because of charisma and because he makes videos for like 4 hours a day. Like, he does like a 8-hour job. This 2-hour stream was exhausting. I have no idea how he does that for that long. I guess doing that for a job probably helps, but... H asks, thoughts on monarchism? I don't know why you would advocate it right now. Like, the issues facing us aren't really the product of having... I think it's outdated, and I don't think it's really relevant as a proposition. Yeah. Noah Watson asks, if you don't believe in a fundamental moral force intrinsic to the universe, in brackets God, then how are you not a nihilist? Well, nihilism isn't isn't the belief in a fundamental moral force. Nihilism is a position that nothing matters, or acting in such a way as nothing matters. Now that can mean a couple of things. Like, people can refer to nihilism in the sense of you've given up on everything that gave your life meaning and you just don't care anymore, you just give up and die. But nihilism can also be just having, like, that can refer to the flatness of one's conception of the world, such that everything, people, principles, things like that, these all have kind of a shallowness to them. If you think of human beings as being nothing, for example, but a collection of chemical reactions, let's say, or of cells or what have you, then in a sense your perspective on humanity is nihilistic, because there's nothing there. There's no there. It's just meaningless stuff, right? I mean, that's why there are positive theories that are regarded as nihilistic. It's not because it's not because they have nothing motivating them at all. It's just because there's nothing to what motivates them. You know, they're just playing a game which they already on reflection realize has no significance. So you can believe in God or believe in a fundamental moral force intrinsic to the universe and be nihilistic. Like, these aren't contradictory. Katsume Kyoto says, President, I think Hakim is from Iraq. I thought I said Iraq. Was I wrong? Did I say Afghanistan? Oh, no. Yeah, Hakim is from Iraq. Sorry. Oh, God. Yeah. Thank you, Katsumi. Luca Barabadze asks, hey Sunday, what's with the anti-Semitic conspiracies? Seriously, why Jews? Are you asking me? I don't follow any anti-Semitic conspiracies. If you're talking about why the proliferation, that's a good question. It's probably has a very varied answer. Yeah, it's probably a varied answer, which I'm not really equipped to give right now. The short of it, though, if I had to guess, it's a cultural holdover in certain groups from a bygone era where that was a common thread in the popular discourse, going back as recently as people like Kant, combined with an identitarian desire to associate multiculturalism, etc., with the biased actions of a particular ethnic group against others. That would be my guess. I think the more and more you go into, the more and more you associate nationality with race, or political belonging with race, or your identity with race, or things like that, the more likely you are to view races as antagonistic to you, and thereby to associate other things antagonistic to you with those races. And I think the fact that there were some prominent Jewish thinkers involved in Marxism probably doesn't help. So, but I don't know. Like, I'm sure it's a lot more complicated than that for a lot of people. But Barry Gormley asks, what is your religion? I don't care if you don't get to me. Hopefully you'll answer another time. Oh yeah, there are a lot of questions. Sean Croft says, I wouldn't trust Medicare too much on Kraut. Yeah, I do take Medicare with a grain of salt, but he has some interesting insights sometimes amidst all the vitriol. But yeah, he's a bit untrustworthy too. Like, he was very much ahead of the curve when it came to COVID, but at the same time was alarmist to the point of absurdity about it as well. So, sorry, I was answering a question and I left it midway through because I saw something on Medicare. Barry Gormley, what is your religion? Non-denominational Christian. what that actually means is a bit more complex. So I'm not going to get into that now, but that's roughly where I fall. Sorry, that's where I fall, not really roughly. Seven Hake asks, President Sunday, I saw pictures of people getting candy from Halloween with Trump stickers, and I have to say people are weird. Why can't they put razor blades in their candy like the good old days? Well, maybe those were Antifa putting Trump stickers on the candy with the razor blades in it. I don't know. I think that's kind of harmless. It's just kind of dumb. That being said, I would be really worried about getting candy from people who put Trump stickers on their candy in the midst of COVID. Yeah. I am losing my voice and I am deadly tired, so I'm going to call it here. If people liked the beginning of this stream, I may continue playing Final Fantasy VI at some point. It's just an easy, low energy thing to do. So, and it gives me an excuse to have a Q&A. So, I'm sorry if I missed any of your questions or if I didn't answer them satisfactorily. I'm just really tired. So, thank you for listening. Yeah. I'm just glad we don't have to listen to 4 more years of people complaining about Trump. Political commentary has gotten so boring. It's so boring because it's always the same thing. Like, not what are the actual implications of this? That it's just Trump saying stuff when he shouldn't, and then it's almost over. It's almost over. Oh, I don't want to do Minecraft streams. Do I have to do Minecraft streams? That's awful. I'll play Minecraft, but I don't want to do streams on Minecraft. Yeah. All right. I'm going to call it. Thanks for listening. Take care. Ciao.